Images of a surreal kind painting the night sky in airspace between Iran and Israel. Thousands of mobile phones by citizens capturing first the missiles taking off from Iran and then being intercepted in the airspace over Israel with a handful of those missiles finding their way through some of the world's most advanced air defense technology to hit the ground in Israel. Iran says that large-scale destruction has taken place on the ground in Israel. Israel has categorically denied this and said that no military bases have been hit and that the damage on the ground is very, very minimal. To talk about this, to decode what has taken place, there can be no bigger voice in the country than Ambassador Reuven Azar. He is the Israeli ambassador to India, and he joins India today at a critical juncture for his country. A very warm welcome to you, Ambassador. We'd all first like to wish you a very happy Jewish New Year. Rosh Hashanah starts today. I wish these were in happier circumstances. This was a time when thousands and millions of citizens would have been looking to celebrate the Jewish New Year, and it looks like Iran timed this attack right before that.
That's right, Shiv. Thank you very much for this interview. What Iran did is that it fired a barrage unprecedented in history of humankind of 181 ballistic missiles. The payload of each missile is between 700 to 1,000 kilograms of explosive, capable of destroying an entire building, of destroying many lives. Israel, together with our partners, the United States, neighboring Arab countries, which we thank them for their support, have thwarted this attack completely. Yes, we had some missiles hitting open areas, but thank God we are safe. Israel has the best missile defense system in the world that was developed by our best technological people, and Israel actually has performed very well. Iran has made a very serious mistake. Shiv, you have to understand, the Iranians have been so far fighting against us for some reason, their genocidal, fanatic, theocratic ideology is very difficult to understand, but they have been having a free ride. They've been fighting us with some of our Arab neighbors that are as fanatical as they are. But guess what? The Hamas terror machine is over. Nasrallah is dead. Mohammad Def is dead. They are left without their biggest proxies. And they decided to continue the fight directly against Israel, and they will pay a price.
Let's talk about some of the specific claims that are being made, Ambassador Azar, at this point of time. Iran, like you rightly said, fired upwards of 180 ballistic missiles. They say that some of these missiles were of a hypersonic variety, etc. It's difficult to assess at this point because there's this fog of war. One of the more dramatic claims that they've made is that 3 air bases in Israel have been hit. There are some reports in Iranian media of tens of fighter aircraft being destroyed, F-35s and F-15s and things like that. Not to go into specifics, but there seems to be a very wide gap between what damage Iran is claiming and what Israel is confirming on the ground. Is the truth somewhere in the middle?
Well, it's very embarrassing for them, because the IDF spokesman, which is generally a very, very credible person, has said, it's not a claim, it's just reported exactly what happened, okay? What happened is that missiles have hit Israel, some of them that weren't intercepted. We didn't intercept those who would hurt essential places or civilians or military bases. And the rest we just don't intercept because it's not worthwhile to invest in a missile to intercept something that is going to hit in the open space. So it's very embarrassing for the Iranians. I understand. They have prepared all this machinery of war, spent billions of dollars on the account of the oppressed Iranian people that are do not have water, that are suffering from lack of essential things in life. They have deprived them from that, that from them, and instead they are investing in this terror campaign to create these armies to choke the state of Israel, take control of the Middle East. These dreams have vanished. They are not worth anything.
Are you saying this was Iran's best shot? Because they've been talking about a days-long war. They've said, when Iran finally attacks, it won't be just a few salvos of missiles like what we saw last night. It will be a longer campaign that can go on for many, many days.
Well, probably.
Are you saying that this was Iran doing its best, its hardest punch?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Iran has been investing in this machinery of war and of terror, in terrorizing not just Israel. They are responsible for killing 500,000 people in Syria. They have taken hostage the state of Lebanon. With the pretext of fighting ISIS, they have created all these militias in Iraq. They have destroyed Yemen. They have destroyed the Middle East. And they are trying to destroy the state of Israel. So what happened is that they failed. They failed colossally because two of their main proxies in the region were defeated by Israel, and now they find themselves having at last to fight themselves, and they are failing. They might have more missiles, but whoever is the aggressor must pay a price. And I'm very glad that many countries around the world have condemned what Iran has been doing. And I'm sure we're going to find a way to send a clear message to this fanatical regime that we will not bear. They made a very big mistake. They don't understand the conviction of our people. People don't understand what is the conviction of the Israeli people, and they are claiming that we are a rotten society, because they don't understand what democracy is. When countries like Israel, that are peace-loving, are trying to postpone wars, not to fight, not to overreact, they take it as a sign of weakness. So they've been trying us time and again until they leave us no choice but to react. And when we react, you see the results.
What are Israel's options right now? We do know that whatever response it is, it can be a wide spectrum. It doesn't need to be in the so-called visible spectrum. It can be, damage of the kind that never gets reported, as we've seen in intelligence operations. But what appears certain, Ambassador, for observers around the world is that after the kind of attack that Iran perpetrated on Israel yesterday, there has to be a response. And Israel has said it will happen at a time and place of their choosing and of a type of their choosing. Can you tell us what these options are? What kind of an attack? The reason I ask, what these scenarios could be is because unlike Iran's proxies, unlike the Hamas and the Hezbollah and the Houthis, which are ultimately proxies, this is the mothership, as it were. And therefore, offensive operations against the mothership of these proxies is going to be a different game altogether.
Well, I'm not going to enter into operational aspects, but what I can tell you is the following. We are creating the conditions that will allow us to enjoy peace and stability in the long term, that we will be able, together with our neighbors, those who want to live with us, we will find a way to live together in prosperity. So we are going to continue to neutralize the capabilities of our enemies that have a common denominator. They are all guided by this octopus coming from Iran. We are going to neutralize those capabilities, or at least minimize them as much as we can, with the hope that people will take the message that the people of Iran that actually love the state of Israel, the Persian people love the state of Israel. They are oppressed by this regime. One day, they will wake up. We hope that one day they wake up and they fight these tyrants. It's very difficult to do.
But the people of Iran, in some ways, have been trying to fight that oppression. So, I agree with your point that, that there is oppression taking place in Iran. But my question to you is, in the context of, I understand that operational aspects cannot be discussed, that's normal. But in the context of this current cycle of war exchanges between the two countries. What would be that end game when you say that this octopus called Iran is the reason why all of these things are happening? What boxes need to be ticked, Ambassador, for the war to stop?
Yeah. So number one, when it comes to the Gaza Strip, we will not allow Hamas to rearm and regroup.
Yeah.
We have to bring back our hostages. That's a difficult dilemma. We have to deal with that. We want all of them to come back home. We may do compromises on the way, but we will not allow Hamas to rearm and regroup. The IDF is conducting now operations in the south of Lebanon. The Iranians are trying to deny it. Hezbollah is trying to deny it. We have right now forces of 2 divisions of the IDF that are taking care of cleaning the infrastructure that was created by Hezbollah to attack the state of Israel, to do another 7th of October on Israel. This is an amazing infrastructure with underground tunnels, with explosives. We are going to clean the south of Lebanon, and we are going to make sure that Hezbollah cannot return to those places. And when it comes to Iran itself, well, again, I'm not going to get into the details, but the regime will understand what we mean when we say that it committed a huge mistake.